How's it going, everybody? My name is Rinzler here, back again for another video, and welcome back to my KBW Kids Backyard Wrestling Career series. And today we're going to be discussing one of my personal favorite KBW superstars, that being D-Man. D-Man was always extremely underrated in my opinion. Despite winning many championships, he never felt like a true fixture in the main event scene, but he did really endear himself with all the fans, even when he was a bad guy. So without further ado, let's discuss the KBW career of D-Man. D-Man debuted in the inaugural season of KBW where he challenged Fireman and defeated him. D-Man would then face CJ one-on-one but would come up short. After the match, he would be assaulted by Fireman, who was seeking petty revenge. D-Man would temporarily be knocked down the card, but he regained his number one contendership status by defeating Cage in a hardcore match. He would then successfully win the title in a triple threat ladder match against Cage and CJ, but would once again be attacked by Fireman after the match. D-Man would then face AK-47 in his debut match for KBW before being attacked by Fireman once again, but D-Man would attempt revenge by teaming up with CJ against Cage and Fireman in a tag team match, but would once again lose. D-Man would then defend his title against Fireman, would then successfully defend his title against Fireman. Season 1 would ultimately end with the entire KBW locker room ganging up on Fireman, which allowed D-Man to hit the shooting star press. Unfortunately for D-Man, KBW Season 1 as a whole wasn't very good, and that's why I've cut down Season 1 significantly in my other videos. Even KBW themselves have recommended fans to skip ahead to Season 2. Wanting KBW to be seen as more than just kids messing around, they essentially rebooted the company in Season 2, and thus the Extreme World title was deactivated, and D-Man was no longer the world champion. Therefore, he lost the title without ever losing it. It would be a while before we actually saw D-Man on camera again, but he would eventually return to compete in the first ever KBW Money in the Bank ladder match, but ultimately failed to win. It would also be in this match that he introduced KBW to his cousin Maxilla. D-Man would once again be absent for weeks after this match before returning to compete against Nick Frazier. Against Nick Frazier, Paul Wall, and AK-47 in a fatal four-way match to determine the number one contender for Cage's Undisputed Championship. The match would ultimately be won by Paul Wall, however. D-Man was soon relegated to the tag team division where he began teaming with his cousin Maxilla. They were never given a proper team name, but the commentators often referred to them as the Ultimate Underdogs, so that's what I'll be calling them in this video. The Ultimate Underdogs lost their debut match as a team, putting over AK-47 and his new protege, the Bulldozer. D-Man would then compete in the Royal Rumble match to determine the first ever KBW World Heavyweight Champion, where he entered at number 5 and teamed up regularly with D-Man against other participants throughout the match, but he was ultimately eliminated by Cage. During this match, Paul Wall hit a fallaway slam on D-Man and accidentally threw him right on top of Maxilla. This move obviously wasn't planned and it looked absolutely devastating, but luckily neither of them were injured. It should be noted at this time that several of D-Man's matches have the comments disabled. This is because even though D-Man was about the same age as everyone else on the roster, he still looked much younger than everyone else, which caused a bit of controversy as people thought older teenage boys were beating up a little kid on camera. In reality, he was just shorter than everyone else. D-Man finally got a much-needed victory when he and Maxilla defeated Mick the Brick and T-Rex, but they would soon be attacked after the match by Cage and the Bulldozer, who are now known as Execution. D-Man would take another leave of absence before returning to accept an open challenge by Cage. This match was excellent and earned D-Man a spot on the top 10 KBW matches list, which felt like a long time coming. Ironically, during this match, D-Man would make Cage's... iconically during this match, not ironically. Iconically during this match, D-Man would make Cage's elbow bleed for real. I can't seem to find the exact move that did it, however. Ultimately, D-Man would lose to Cage in this match. D-Man would then compete at KBW's first ever pay-per-view event called Bloodthirsty, where he won the Money in the Bank ladder match and also earned himself another spot on the top 10 matches list. This match unfortunately has been deleted, which is a damn shame considering this match had some great spots and rightfully was one of the most viewed backyard wrestling matches of all time while it was still up. After the match, Bulldozer would dump the trampoline on D-Man and all the other participants, and D-Man wouldn't be seen again until the next season. D-Man would kick off Season 3 by defending his Money in the Bank contract in the match against the Bulldozer, where he retained via disqualification. Personally, this finish has always rubbed me the wrong way. I know it was done to make Bulldozer look like a monster heel that D-Man couldn't hope to pin or submit, but it also made him look a little heelish and desperate in my opinion. But either way, it is what it is, and I've tried to come to terms with it, but this finish has always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. After the match, a frustrated Bulldozer would once again attempt to dump the trampoline on D-Man, but he would be thwarted by the Bomba Kid. A little while afterwards, the tag team titles would be introduced, and for some reason, the Ultimate Underdogs weren't even booked in the match to determine the first champions. This has also always rubbed me the wrong way, considering they had been a team for a while by this point, and the fans loved them, but maybe they were just too busy to compete on that episode. Who knows for sure. Even though D-Man wasn't winning tag straps, he did win the big one soon after when he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract on Cage to win the World Heavyweight Championship that he'd never lost at the end of Season 1. This was a true feel-good moment considering how often he had been losing for the last year and how he had never lost his last world title. His third world title reign, however, would be cut short when he dropped the championship to CJ in his first title defense. D-Man wouldn't be without gold for long, however, as he would soon win a six-pack elimination challenge match to become the inaugural Native American champion and earn AK-47 and Pac-Man's respect after the match. D-Man's sights were still high, however, and he wanted to regain his world title, so he would then enter the Royal Rumble to become the number one contender, but the match would instead be won by his own tag team partner, Maxilla. D-Man, however, attempted to insert himself into Maxilla and CJ's world title clash by facing AK-47 and Cage in a triple threat submission match, but would lose when they both locked in submission holds on him at the same time. This match has been deleted for unknown reasons. D-Man would enter a friendly rivalry with the Bomba Kid, who challenged D-Man for his Native American title in a ladder match at Renegade Revolution. This match would also be featured on the top 10 KBW matches list, and rightfully so. It was a hell of an encounter that helped D-Man become forever associated with the red, white, and blue strap. D-Man would then willingly put his title on the line in a fatal five-way match against Jace the Ace, Bomba Kid, Jacob Storm, and Pac-Man, which doubled with the stipulation that whoever won the match would become the last member of Team KBW against the Renegades. D-Man would ultimately retain his title and earn his place on Team KBW. At All or Nothing, however, D-Man would be the first man eliminated for his team, which would then go on to lose the match when AK-47 turned heel on Team KBW and revealed himself as the new Renegade leader. D-Man's Native American title reign would come to an end at the hands of Renegade member The Beast soon after All or Nothing. Despite this, D-Man is still the wrestler most commonly associated with that title, which he really did make his own. D-Man would then return to the tag team division, where he would reform the Ultimate Underdogs with Maxilla and challenge for the tag team titles in a tables, ladders, and chairs match at Blood, Sweat, and Tears against the Renegades, Pac-Man, Bomba Kid, and the Enforcement. Bomba Kid and Pac-Man, however, would go on to win this bloody and violent affair, which has since gone on to become one of KBW's most popular matches ever. In Season 4, D-Man would get a massive change in character. After he and Maxilla lost to the debuting Big Time Dreams tag team, D-Man turned heel and attacked Maxilla. After this, he began coming out to Drake's All Me for his theme song and became a lot more aggressive in his promos and matches. For unknown reasons, D-Man and Maxilla never did have a blow-off match to their feud. Despite this being one of the most interesting heel turns in the company's history, with some real potential in a match between the pair, the match never happened. In fact, Maxilla was never seen again in KBW, which was a damn shame, as a match between these two small high flyers with this betrayal storyline could have been the next huge feud that KBW needed. D-Man instead would simply go solo and would soon attack Jacob Storm to set an example of his newfound attitude. AK-47 would offer D-Man a place on the Renegades, but D-Man didn't accept and instead continued to do his own thing. He would then compete at Bloodthirsty 2 in his third Money in the Bank ladder match, and would also be the only person to have ever competed in all three matches. In my opinion, the third Money in the Bank ladder match actually topped the second one in terms of quality, but ultimately D-Man came up short as Pac-Man won the match. D-Man then failed to appear in KBW again for the remainder of Season 4. D-Man would return for the Season 5 premiere match where he challenged Cage to an impromptu match. As you can see, he had grown much taller in between seasons, now actually being taller than Cage. His voice was also much deeper, and he grew in his confidence a lot, saying it was time to get Cage out of the way, as it was his time now. Ultimately, though, Cage defeated D-Man in what would turn out to be D-Man's last match for the promotion before they closed their doors in 2016 due to the wrestlers getting older. Nothing is publicly known about what D-Man has been doing since. He didn't accept any of AK-47's later open challenges and hasn't appeared on the indie scene as far as I'm aware. KBW is talking about making another whole season of the show, and one can only hope D-Man will return for that. D-Man, in my opinion, was even more underutilized than the Bomba Kid was. He may have been controversial considering he looked like a child for most of his time in the company, but he got over organically with the fans, had a natural underdog look, and whether he was a tag team or singles competitor, he would always kill it in the ring. If it had been up to me, D-Man would have held the tag team, Native American, and world titles at the same time in Season 3. There was a perfect opportunity there to cement D-Man in the main event picture. On top of his 2 Extreme World title wins and his Money in the Bank victory, this would have cemented D-Man as a main event level athlete and a regular fixture on top of the card. As it stands, he was always able to do extremely well with what he was given, but really suffer from being overshadowed by Cage and AK-47's Season 2 feud and the Renegades' invasion in Season 3. He had so much to offer the company, but he was always kept at arm's length, it felt like, and never was truly allowed to soar to the top of the card. Here's to hoping that D-Man returns and finally gets a proper push if he does. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. Share this video with all of your friends on your various social media accounts. Make sure to comment down below on what you liked and didn't like about this video. And I will see all you dudes and chicks in the next video.